Gaddock Teeg versus the Fun Police. Leovold, Emissary of Trest. Yeah, well, we'll try it. I've never had Leovold on the channel before, so I might just upload us getting stomped by this deck. It's one of the most powerful commanders that you can play, and to be honest, I don't know why it's not banned in Commander. I don't think for a second that this thing was printed for Commander. I think it was printed for Vintage and Legacy. Not that I know anything about those formats, but I think that is what the card was made for. We can go for a tap land there. And then I think we're probably looking at a sword. See if our opponent has counter magic. They don't, which is really good. They either don't have counter magic or they have artifact removal. But what we'll probably do next turn is go for Sagada. Or do we want to get down Gaddock Teeg? Well, we want to crack the Misty Rainforest anyway. We'll get down a Savannah. And yeah, we'll risk running into counter magic here. In all of that, I didn't pay for white. There we go. We'll try and get some counter magic out of their hand. Once that thing's on the battlefield, I don't think they're going to be able to get rid of it. They can't bounce it unless they have mass bounce. They can't force us to sacrifice it. And they can't use targeted removal on it, so now that we've got that in play, we might actually have half a chance of doing something in this game. And we will equip up the Feast and Famine. They might blow it up at instant speed. That's the problem with Feast and Famine, is you want to tap down all your lands to maximise mana before you swing in. Ooh, that's nice. Nimble Obstructionist. I used that in Lazar of the Multifarious. Alright, well, fair enough. That buys them some time. But they are still on a now 5-turn clock. So I think what we're doing next turn is going into Gaddock Teeg and equipping up a couple of swords. And then we'll untap everything next turn. If they want to counter that, that's actually not terrible. Okay, we don't untap all our stuff, but we do still get some card draw, and we've still got quite a hefty clock going on our opponent. And we get into Cavern of Souls, which is really good. I actually don't know what we want to do with that. Might just go Elemental for next turn. This is 7 mana, although it can't be countered anyway, can it? Right, so scratch that. Yeah, I don't know what I want to name with that. It depends on what we draw, so I'm actually going to not play the Cavern of Souls. And it's actually nice if our opponent can play around it, and wow, well, that I didn't expect. we just outraced Leovold there. Typically, Leovold just gets out of control in no time flat. They had a full grip of 7, but clearly they couldn't deal with the Sagada. Sagada is one of the Celestia cards that is really good against control builds, such as the I forget what this is called. Sultai, is that the name of this shard? Such as Sultai. They can't get us to sack. They can only mass bounce to deal with the Sagada, really. And I don't know how much of that Leovold runs. Probably Cyclonic Rift is about it. But they didn't even try there, but I am going to upload this because I'm quite shocked that we managed to beat out a Leovold. Don't know if I've ever done that. So, yay for us. Gaddock Teeg versus Leovold with a very surprising result. I'll see you all on the next one. Gaddock Teeg versus Azusa, Lost but Seeking. We have opted to keep this hand, and yeah, we'll just go for a tap land off of this and see if they want to wasteland it on turn 1. We'll see how spiky our opponent wants to be. We have lots of hands in our land, lots of lands in our hand, as well as a cultivate. And I'm assuming that this Azusa deck is a typical Eldrazi build, but we'll soon find out. We actually can't do anything on turn 2 either, other than cast our commander, so we'll do just that. See how scared they are of Gaddock Teeg. Don't think there's too much that green can do to get rid of it. Lignify, Song of the Dryads, Beast Within. And then there might be some Eldrazi that can exile it as well, but we're a ways off that yet. Okay, and they're going for their ramp, as you would expect in a mono green deck and in an Azusa deck. I think we'll do the same actually. Go for a plains and a forest, and we'll put the plains intact. And then we'll just get some free damage on our opponent. And pass the turn over. Probably Captain Sisse next turn. And then we can try and get down an Elish Norn and keep them off Azusa. Or maybe Vorinclex or something like that. How close we can get to that relies solely on the Gaia's Cradle being active. And just as I say that, they wasteland the Gaia's Cradle. But we can still go for the Captain Sisse. I'm not going to swing in and offer up a trade. I'm just hopeful that they have ramp spells that cost more than 3 mana. They of course get into Mana Crypt and Ancient Tomb off the top, which is always the way, isn't it, with Azusa decks? I don't know how much experience anyone has with these things, but it's just all ramp all the time. Well, they get into Duplicant. I'm assuming that's going at Captain Sisse. It certainly is. That's unfortunate. We're now reliant on Worldly Tutor and Eladamri's Call. And they offer up the trade. We're not interested in that. In that case, why don't we... unfortunately, we can't Tireless Tracker and Wood Elves. Or we can't go into Tireless Tracker and then Wood Elves, so we'll just have to do this first. Grab a Savannah here. And then we'll go for our tireless tracker and see how well we can get some card draw on the go. And we're a little bit in top deck mode now, so I think we do want to try and get some clues on the battlefield. We have 2, 4, 6 mana, 7 next turn. So we could go for Fleecemane Lion and make it monstrous, and then start swinging in with that. That'll be a 4/4 hexproof indestructible. That might be a way to go. And then the next turn we can go for the Smiter and start cracking some clue tokens. Tooth and Nail is a card that I can't believe isn't banned in Commander. In so many decks it's effectively 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana for a 1-card combo. You can get things like Triskelion and Mikaeus. Even if it's something like Avenger of Zendikar and Greathoof Behemoth. There's so many things you can do, and 1 card and 9 mana to get a combo out of your deck and onto the battlefield. I mean, 9 mana is nothing in Commander, so I do run this card, but I don't do anything too degenerate with it. But it is a card that I can't believe isn't banned. It's one thing for the fast mana to be unbanned, but cards like that, yeah, I think are very oppressive. And I think we've been too slow in this game so far. I will be intrigued to see if they fish anything out with the Tooth and Nail, though. Okay, so we get a clue token off the Tireless Tracker. Let's take a look at that. Abundant Growth is another means of card draw for us. And gets us into a Tech Edge, which might help us next turn, but it's not helping us now. So why don't we just crack this clue? Yeah, a little bit too slow again. We'll just have to get down our Fleecemane, not Firemane, Fleecemane Lion. And then we'll just swing in for 5. I assume our opponent's going to do something crazy next turn, especially seeing as how they've got into Tooth and Nail. Had we been able to draw into Tech Edge and Night of Autumn sooner, we could have gotten rid of Mana Crypt and Ancient Tomb, and they still would have been on 6, 7, 8 mana. But it's better than being on more than that. Currently on 8, 9, 10, 12 mana. I'm probably going to get even more now. Yep, 3 more mana. Yeah, I've lost count now. They can of course play 2 additional lands on each of their turns, thanks to Oracle of Muldiah. Somehow when I play Oracle of Muldiah, I don't get whatever that was, 4 lands on the top. What did they blow up there? Oh, they got rid of Gaddock Teeg. That is interesting. So that means that they want to do something. Oh, of course, yeah, the Tooth and Nail is most likely what they're going for here. So had we have managed to get into our Lightning Greaves, we could have avoided that. Unfortunately, they had the Beast Within in hand, one of the only green spells that could have dealt with Gaddock Teeg. Ah yeah, and as I said, Avenger of Zendikar and Crater Hoof. And they do have Eldrazi in the deck as well, apparently. But at least we're being beaten by an Azusa deck with something other than Eldrazi, so that makes a change for us at least. Makes a change for the channel. And we go down to -61. I don't think we would have drawn into anything. No, we were just a couple of turns, a turn or two behind there. Like I say, had we have gotten down Night of Autumn and Tech Edge sooner, we could have kept them off some of this mana, but it turns out that the Oracle of Muldiah got them into lots more mana anyway, so I don't think there's anything we could have done about that. So, Azusa is good. You heard it here first. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.